I give you numbers. I give you stage 7 for Dakar 2026. And then I give you 4, 3, 2, 1. Ford, Toyota, Dacia, and a Century. Again, a Century in the top 10. What a day of joy, a day of heartbreak. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Dakar 2026. I'm Colin.
I'm Clifford, the biker guy.
Just the biker guy with the chicken legs. My man, Matthias Ekstrom wins it after Henk Lategan and Brett Cummings. They lead the thing by miles. They took 8 minutes out of everybody up until 30 Ks from the end. Tragedy struck. It wasn't a pleasant day for them, and they are bleak AF. We are joined a little bit later by Alfie Cox, Bradley Cox's dad. Brad, who had a bit of a not so nice day. So our two teams that we've been really closely following, Lategan and Cox. Cock days for them.
Yeah,
what happened in the bike?
Seems like race day after race day has got a bit of a curse going to it. But yeah, if we look at the bikes, we'll jump into it. 459k special today. Guys had their bikes prepped and ready to go, and just a bit of a shakedown. But Benavides took top spot in the GP stage, with Edgar Canet having a better run, because he's also had a bit of a time of it lately. But Van Beveren was third, and then Daniel Standers was fourth, Skylarhouse fifth, and then Michael Docherty, again, fifth stage win in Dakar. So he's still flying the South African flag, having a good day for the South Africans. And then Tosha Sharan is seventh, Ross Branch, a really uneventful day in eighth place. Nacho Florimo just behind him on the Hero in ninth, and then Ricky Brabeck 10th. We mentioned earlier Bradley Cox not having the best day. Issues with the fuel pump. He had issues throughout the day, but 25 Ks from the end, the bike said no more. Manimoto rider managed to tow him home, and I know there were gifts exchanged.
Yeah. How did he get home? It's a long way to push a bike.
It is a long way to push a bike, but yeah, he managed to get a tow, and he got back. So his Dakar carries on, but he lost a lot of time today, unfortunately. If we look at Rally 2 for the stage, Docherty takes the win ahead of Mulic and Niels Sterich. But overall, if we look at where the guys are standing at the moment, Daniel Sanders, who is looking for back-to-back Dakar wins, and it'll be the first time since Mark Coma in 2014, 2015, so it's a rare occurrence, but he's pushing and he's there with a 4-minute gap over Ricky Brabeck, and Benavides now still in the hunt. Tosha Sharan is fourth and is only 15 minutes behind. Skylar House is a little bit back, with Nacho Florimo, Van Beveren, Ross Branch, an hour 39 behind. Then Preston Campbell, who's leading the overall Rally 2, ahead of Mulic, and then Brady Cox still 13th and still alive and well in Dakar, but 3 hours, 8 minutes, 51 behind. So it's a big gap to cover.
Huge, eh?
But he's still there, because there's other things he can compete for. A lot of riding still to be done. If we look at the manufacturers for today, 4 KTMs, 4 Hondas, 2 Heroes. Only 2 withdrawals today, so a lot of guys going through, and we now take the race a little bit deeper, but heartbreak for the bikes today. Cars, anything exciting?
All of it was exciting. We started Matthias, first of all, so Sunday, gardening day and just chilling around the house, but hey, instead of gardening, we're watching this race unfold on Tracking Dakar, which is the really, really cool site gives you the time, or the times and positions that guys start, and then you can see the race as it unfolds and get exciting as you walk past the computer to the fridge to get another health drink. A glass of milk, some fresh fruit juice, and something like that.
Sure.
And for the whole day, the story was Lategan, who was just pinning it. First of all, this stage was fast. It was very fast. Average speed of just over 120 kilometers an hour. We've got some footage of some cars. So before we get into that, let's just, Peter, the flyby of, I think the last one I sent you, of all 4 cars. Just to give you an idea of the different sounds, different sites. It's a clip of one place and 4 cars go by. Just listen to these things and you tell me which one sounds the best. Okay, it's coming up just now. All right, it's coming up just now, but don't worry about that. So anyway, 30 Ks from the end. Lategan was 8 minutes up on Al Attiyah and was actually just giving him a proper clap in the backyard. And then right rear shock broke. And there's quite tight packaging on the car. It's a single shock. A lot of the other cars have got double shocks. And it ripped the drive shaft out and it bent the radiator and it created mayhem around the right-hand corner. Luckily, Lategan was the last car on the road and he was carrying a spare damper, so they were able to change the damper and they left the drive shaft was fubar, so they carried on and did the last 30 Ks in two-wheel drive. So he bled 8 minutes to the overall leader, Ekstrom, which is absolutely brilliant. So Ford win another stage. They've got to be very, very happy. João Ferreira, Ford SVR comes in second. Guthrie and Toby Price, the man with a mullet. Proper performance from him. From a bike guy to a car guy, really, really good. Seth Quintero, seventh. Nani Roma, another one of the Fords, one of my favorites in 10th, and then Lategan in 13th from 12th, just ahead of Guy Botterill, who was 9 minutes 10th off the lead. Brian Baragwanath was 13:38 off the lead, and then Saood Variawa. I'm not entirely sure what happened because the information is 27 minutes off the lead. The information has been we've asked, we've requested. I'm just feeling like Simon and Garfunkel, Sounds of Silence. So anyway, he's and then Brian Baragwanath was 13 minutes off. So if we look at it in the overall, NASA leads again, but he's NASA. He's an enigma. He's the guy who you really want to. He's got a 2-minute penalty. He leads by 4 minutes from Ekstrom. Then Roma, Lategan 7 minutes behind. And we'll run through the results. Guthrie, 19 minutes behind in the Ford. Toby Price, 36 minutes. Saood Variawa in 15th, 50 minutes off. That's kind of getting still top 10-ish performance. And then Botterill, 64 minutes. Seth Quintero, 67, and Brian Barra on 79 minutes behind. And then Schroeder, it's only 59 hours and 1 minute behind. But they made it to the end today, which was absolutely fantastic. Couple of things that that actually mean some stuff. We spoke to Glyn on, I think it was on Saturday. Glyn Hall who's running some of the overdrive stuff and strategies on it. And he was talking about the positioning for today. So if you won today, you'd open the road tomorrow, drop back, and then get ahead for stage 8, 9. And that is kind of the soft spot that they want. So their whole strategy went for a ball of poo. And they're now on the same strategy as NASA, so it's a head-to-head fight. These oaks are going to go, I was going to say balls to the walls, but apparently that's not so good. They're going to go flat out tomorrow, and indeed for the rest of the race. So the good news.
Give us some good news. Yes.
Is that we've got Brad's dad. Bradley
dad.
Cox, yes, a long time ago, his first Dakar.
Yeah.
Stefan Peter Hansel helped him to win a stage, and Alfie Cox, the one, the only, our magic man, Alfie, welcome. Thank you very much for taking some time out. So great to see you again, and thanks for joining us.
No problem, guys. I'm happy to help out. And I don't know what you want to ask, but hopefully I can answer the questions.
Are you
Is the light
enjoying?
okay? Because
It's they've got the sunset behind you. You've got this golden halo
no,
around your head. You're looking a little bit almost like Jesus Pajera.
you know
It's
that your nose is going to grow, eh? Your nose is going to grow.
it's growing already, Alfie. You enjoying the race so far this year?
Yeah, look, I've only come here 2 days before the rest day. I haven't been here from day one because Trey, the younger brother, he's training in Europe at the moment, motocross for the next 4 weeks, but he doesn't drive. So I had to take him to Holland and then go and collect his bike. He's riding for Saood. It's a dealer in Germany. He's going to ride some of the European motocross on. He was on 125 last year in the ADAC championship, but now he's going to go on to a 250. So I left him in Holland with David Pochis, which is the trainer, and he'll stay there for 4 weeks. And then I left to come, but they had snow in Holland and Germany, and when Holland is not used to having that much snow come all at once, so it was chaos. There were no trains, no planes, so yeah, it was a bit of a mission, but I managed, and I eventually got to Saudi and I was always destined to come here the last week with Bradley.
And you're enjoying the sunshine there as opposed to the European snow.
No, look, it's unbelievable to go. Normally we only in the spring to Europe for the boys to ride motocross, but sure, it's we sunshine boys. We were skiing at Wickendrift Dam, over December at 35 degrees, in Arabia -1. So we're not really kitted out to do those type of things, but it is what it is, eh?
Yeah. Alfie, I saw a clip earlier. Sorry, Cliffy the biker guy wants to ask you a whole lot of things, but I saw a clip with you and Stefan Peter Hansel. And tell us a story about, I think it was your first Dakar, and he was, or the day...
Dakar, 98, yeah.
Yeah.
He was on the cylinder. He's a car. He already won a few Dakars. He's on that twin cylinder. Your first Dakar, you don't know what to expect. Coming from a Toyota 1000 Baja type of racer that I was, and I definitely had the speed, but I didn't have the navigation skills because I was brand new at it. So I figured the only way is to hang in with these big guys and come in the morning and then just let them do the work, and I'll learn the nation as I go along. And I think he was a little bit surprised. Australia, Andy Hayden, we both got bikes from KTM as privateers. Still had to find a lot of money, which people in South Africa were amazing, like they were with Bradley, and I'm sure with every other sportsman that wanted to go and do these races. Yeah, and then every day, I would be in the top 5, arrive at the bivouac, would have time to talk, and we became quite good friends, and I remember he was watching the style because I think he had been to South Africa to try the desert race. I'm not sure why he was there, maybe for Yamaha promotion or something. And it was the second last stage, and I was like in 5th or 6th place. And he said to me, "There's not a lot of navigation today. It's a short stage, 250 km. I think in the stage today," he says, because he's already won the race by just coming to the end. He had 20 minutes lead on all of us. Yeah, and the first Dakar stage win. So that's the history of Peter Hansel and myself. And we've stayed friends throughout the Dakars. That was Dakar on a bike, and then he turned to cars. I carried on, did 7 Dakars on the bike, and I also did the car as well. So we saw each other on the Dakar together with Carlos. In the morning when all the guys have arrived at the start, it's chatter time because we get there early, at least an hour before our start time. So, it's just friends, and it's just that they still you know, and they still have time to stop and talk and those type of things. It's quite a camaraderie. This Dakar, definitely, you know, you have friends for life here. That's for sure.
Lekker memories, hey, Alfie. Cliffy.
Alfie, you mentioned that you went through your history, but you said that you've obviously, we all know, but you've done bike and car. Any preference on what you prefer doing? Because I know, like, we all look at, and we said it used to be son of Alfie, Bradley Cox, but it's starting to go the other way, and we wonder if maybe you'll start swaying him in a different direction as the years go on. But is there a preference for you personally?
No, but remember, I only started the Dakar at 36 years old, eh? You know, these guys are starting it now. So there's a big difference between that. And, you know, when I was in probably mid-40s is when I stopped riding bikes at the Dakar. And it's much easier to four wheels, you know. You don't feel, you know, scared all day long with your heart in your throat. You know, the element of risk on a motorcycle, yeah, you know, the speeds are hectically high. And, you know, we had big bikes boys are riding now. They're only on 450. You know, we had 700s. Our bike weighed over 200 kilograms. It had 55 liters on fuel on board. We had to do 350 kilometers between refuels. And, you know, the little 450s that they're riding now, they're powerful. They're probably as fast as our big 700s, but they're much lighter. It feels like a motocross bike. So, yeah, to change to four wheels when you're getting in your late 40s, early 50s, it's quite easy to make that change. And it's quite easy to enjoy four wheels when you come from a two wheels, you know. So if that answers your question, it's an age for sure. At 20 years old, you don't want to go and ride in a four wheel. You missed your two wheel career yet, you know. So I suppose in the late 30s, 35, I mean, Bradley's only 27. He's still got at least 10 years left riding bikes. But, you know, whether they'll turn into wheels, I'm not sure. I was just very lucky that Glenn Hall gave once to race the Nissan and was involved with Nissan. And it just, you know, I wanted to try it out. And, yeah, I turned to it quite easily. Hannes Schrobler was my teammate. And we had a great time in those Nissans. We all remember this Nissan. And, yeah, it was a great time that I had in four wheels.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that answers my question perfectly. Going on to Bradley now, obviously you said you've just been in for the last 2 days or so. He's had some really, really strong rides. Today was a difficult day. What sort of advice and thoughts are you giving to him to sort of pick himself up and to push through the Dakar?
Well, I think with the fuel problem that he had today, there's like a control valve that controls the tank from one to the other, and that the little spring or whatever it was inside the control valve. So obviously there was not enough pressure to pressurize the injector on the bike, because now instead of being blocked on the one to pressure the other side, flowing between. It's called a flow meter. And yeah, stupid part like that. And you know, so now he's 8th overall to 13th. But he's only an hour off 10th. And with a week to go, you know, anything can happen. I mean, other guys can have problems. And, you know, he's definitely a never give up attitude. I mean, today he was about to get in the helicopter and the guy kept saying, hey, are you leaving the bike or are you going? And he said, no, try a little bit more. And Italian privateer Malmoto came past, left him, came back 5 minutes later, said, hey, I've got a tow rope. We've only got 30 Ks to go and it's flat ground. And they towed him to the finish, towed him all the way 150 code back to the bivouac. And yeah, bike is fixed and never give up attitude, you know. So yeah, I'm proud of him for doing that, not just giving up. And yeah, he's not in the race, but at least he can have some good stages. And he can, you know, at least fight for him during this week.
Yeah, I mean, exactly that. So, I mean, we're all glad that he can still keep going. I mean, experience is everything. And like with the Sherco being a small team of only 3 bikes and now Bradley being the only one left, I mean, it's a no-brainer that obviously we all want him to finish as well as the team. But coming back to that Sherco ride with Bradley, I mean, last year when we spoke to him, he was a KTM rider. And then we saw the shift. Obviously, you and Brady would have had conversations about it, but what do you think were the key factors for him to make such a big jump and become a factory rider for maybe a relatively lesser known team than KTM?
The problem is KTM, they had this financial issues starting at the end of, not last year, the year before. End of 24, there was already rumblings that there was a financial issue there, and they already told Bradley, because we were getting factory material through the best Dakar team, but Bradley was paying to go to the race. And he was very fortunate that Toyota Gazoo snapped him up, and they funded him for 3 Dakars with the team. Know what that costs. And KTM had it in their mind to take 3 juniors, and we was waiting. Sherco already offered him a deal the year before, but he wanted to see if he could get in. He'd never been on any other brand except KTM, so he had a bit of loyalty to KTM. And when financial came and KTM didn't know their head from their shoulders and make any decisions, I don't money. And eventually they said to him, "Hey, we're taking the young Spanish rider," and it was a bitter pill for him to swallow. And the Sherco had offered him the ride, and it was a no-brainer. And it's a wonderful company. They look after him, making French cars, and he couldn't ask her, for the want of being wanted in a team, and nothing is an issue. They've been fantastic to him. So, he's made the shift. He's very happy with the bike. He's happy with the team. The people are amazing. And he's got a 3-year contract, 2 years with the option of a 3rd year. And, being a small company, sometimes it's not a bad thing where you build on every day, every race, make new changes and want to do well. And they see the worldly, so which is great.
Also gives him an opportunity to assert himself and to become more of a team leader in a small team. It's KTM, just such a big machine. You pump through riders one after the other, but now he comes to, as you were saying, a valued place, and it gives him an opportunity to grow himself as a team leader.
No, look, it was not an easy. I mean, it's not easy because he's raced KTM for 24 years. I've been with KTM 30 years, and for them not to take him, whatever their reasons were, it is a little bit of a bitter pill to swallow. But he's in a good team. We're happy for him, and it is a little bit of a segregation because he lives at home, and his blue bike has to stand in the corner at home. It's not allowed to be mixed with everything else. So, but it will out, and everything is fine at the end of the day, man.
So when are you going to start selling Shercos, Alfie?
No, listen, my and our philosophy, let's try and do one thing properly. We're trying to recover from KTM's misfortune that they went through, and it snowballed into every single dealership in South Africa. And, it's allowed other brand of bikes. It's allowed people to kick the dog when it's down. And, we've got to build the brand. And, I'll to get in something else. Let's do one thing properly.
Yeah, fair enough. Your impressions of the race, I'm a car guy, and it just seems, I don't know, Cliffy's the bike guy, but it just seems on the car side, everything is ramped up a little bit. The cars are faster, the field is tighter, the pits are more professional. What's your overall impression of Dakar 2026?
No, it's exactly in the motorcycles as well. level has jumped up, honestly, threefold. The materials got better, the suspensions got better. You know, the tires have got a lot better, can go for longer. Yes, obviously the organizers threw them a curveball by throwing them into stones before the race. You see the car guys, and the unfortunate part about it, these car guys, I mean, there's just no stopping them. They are fighting each other. All these brands, Ford, Dacia, you know, it's a mad scramble out there. And I've been out into the desert to watch. I tell you what, and I'm sure you guys have watched the footage from the cameras.
Yeah.
They're shutting off, and see they're driving the car till it breaks, because that's exactly what's happened. I mean, today Henk was having an amazing day in the lead overall, and 50 k's from home he blows a rear shock, just because you can see how they're pushing these cars. You know, there's a lot of luck as well. You know, will the car not have a problem? Will you not have a puncture? Doubt the car. And it's the same as with the bike guys. You know, they also, you know, Honda's trying to knock KTM off the podium. So it's a Honda KTM fight all the time. You know, Bradley's trying to show his worth out there. So there's all these top manufacturers doing exactly what the car guys are doing. But the car guys, obviously, there's a lot more money being spent. It's just, unless you come here, your jaw just drops. I mean, coming from South Africa, yes, the best cars are built in South Africa on this race here, but your jaw just drops when you see the trucks and the people and it's a circus that's come to town. And when some hardest thing in the world, everybody do it. It doesn't matter how many millions it could. Yeah, you can see the investment.
Alfie, I want to ask you, I mean, like you said, you mentioned everyone's going at it flat out and hammer and tongs, but in the bike stage now, I mean, the top four are basically separated by 15 minutes odd. How do you see that race unfolding now until the end?
Well, I think it'll be a cat and mouse game. I think Sanders has probably got, even though he's only got 30 seconds or a minute, he uses that to his advantage. You know, like one day he'll start in the front, the next day, because but cars now, you get a bonus point if you're in the front. Every checkpoint you stay in front, you get a bonus point. So whoever starts first, in the old days used to get chewed up by the guys. But now at least they give you, until you get chewed up, if you're still in front, bonus point. So you're getting bonus all the way along. So you're not losing out by winning the stage. And yeah, I can tell you now, Honda want to win this thing. KTM wants to win it. You know, Sanders is the favorite, but you know, you've got so yeah, I'm not sure. They've got their strategy. They've got these map readers. They've got strategies. They know what to do, which day to push, which day to slack off. Obviously, they've got to look after the material. You know, you can't like you saw what happened. We might go back into this in the next few days, and then you got a problem with the tire. You know, you have to look after the rear tire. So it's a jiggle. It's not over yet. With a day to go, you could maybe say it's over, but not a moment. Big stages, days.
Yeah, we got the marathon stage coming, another marathon stage coming up, and that I think is going to be the big. There's possibilities of
turning point.
Big, absolutely. Alfie, are you still doing your videos and your your film directing?
We're still doing it. We are at the moment. It's not the best at the moment, and videos take a long time to download. But yeah, we had such a great rest day. Everybody that's on Brad's, you know, I brought some interesting stuff to the people, because they all want to ask a lot of questions. And you know, one of the questions that asked these Rally 2 riders, and it's something if I can touch on with you guys, and a lot of people out there are seeing Rally 2 riders and they're seeing Rally GP riders. So, for example, if you first come into the Dakar Rally or into any World Cup round, don't want you to go with the big guys. They put you in Rally 2, just like Bradley did for his first 2 years. And the idea between Rally 2 is you want to become the world champion. In other words, a Rally 2 world champion. And like Mason, he won the Rally 2. Second year, Bradley won Rally 2. Michael Docherty is on his way to try and win it. Not saying that Rally 2 riders are second, they're not good riders. Rally 2 riders are as good as the Rally GP. They've got access to exactly the same. You can get factory engine, get factory suspension. You got the money, but Rally 2 riders are normally buying their ride. They're paying somebody to go after them, like Bradley did with the best team for the last 4 years. Pays into the ride, and they after you for the thing. So rally riders, as Johnny Campbell. I mean, Johnny Campbell, champion in America in the late 90s and 2000s. Son is a Baja racer in America. Now he's coming to give rallies a go. And as you can see, he's leading Rally 2 at the moment for his first year. He's done a couple of small rallies, World Cups. He's also, so Rally 2 riders are not somebody that's not a good rider. They are good in their country, like in the Baja, Spanish bars or Portuguese bars. So Rally 2 riders are just not in Rally GP. They want to win the World Championship, and they get more recognition by winning Rally 2. Score the same as Rally GP, if that explains to the people. When people see, oh, there's a Rally 2 rider that's coming in the top, top 10 or top 5, sometimes getting a podium, it doesn't mean that he's not a good rider. He's a damn good rider, but he wants to win the World Championship in Rally 2 first. Yeah. He makes the step to Rally GP.
All right, Alfie.
Yeah?
It's really magic that you've been able to take some time out to talk to us. Really value it. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Enjoy the rest of the race.
Lovely.
And give our best regards to Brad.
I will do that, man.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Alfie.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
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 Man, what a guy with such history, so many stories and things. So if you've got any questions, queries, comments, or anything to add to the discussion, send them in. Cliffy, have you got anything yet?
I've got some questions, yeah. So Cass Kruger, technical question. Cars have a 500 litre plus fuel tank. What size fuel tank do the bikes have?
A big one.
Not that big, yeah. So they normally range about between 32 to about 34 litres. So quite a bit smaller. Obviously, they've got to carry the weight, but that's about the amount of literage that they are carrying on those bikes at the moment.
But the bikes also have, when they're on a long liaison, everybody gets to fill up fuel before the liaison, and then the bikes have a stop in the bikes and quads and side-by-sides. It's just the cars that have to, the organizers say a car has to have at least a 500-kilometer range available. So when they full up, I don't know, 480, between 450 and 480 litres, and they're going to need all of those litres tomorrow.
Yeah, that's for sure. Johan Stradom, hi, what do you think? Is Henk still in for the win?
Absolutely.
He says he's going to push from now. I think so, because all the other guys can also get stuck with problems. And yeah, I think it's still a long way to go.
7 minutes off the lead. We saw today, we saw during last week as well, that the Overdrive Gazoo Toyota has got unbelievable speed. And so is Henk. I think Henk is a world-class driver. I think that probably NASA is the ultimate rally raid cross-country racer. But Henk has got the speed as a package. NASA is there. Henk is, I think, point to point, can be faster than him. And when he puts it all together and the car works together, we saw today, to take 8 minutes out of him on a high-speed stage. I think that's the thing. When you're racing it, there were sections today of wide open top speed on the limiter for a long time, 170 k's an hour, and to make up speed at that kind of make up time at high speed is bloody difficult. So for him to be 8 minutes ahead, every now and then, when you're a statue, you get pooed on, and it's a race.
It's a race.
It's
Considering
a proper race.
Considering
You know,
the
just hold on.
circumstances.
I'm looking at I've got the overalls here, and just if you run down the right-hand column, 20 minutes is Guthrie and even Seradori. What a great race he's having for Century. You know, and he's just plugging away. He's not doing anything dramatic. And in Seradori's 20-odd minutes off the lead. That's doable, hey?
Yeah.
Very doable.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a statement here from Paul Dalrev. Hi, guys. I remember when the drivers had to back off so not to destroy the cars, and these days the T1 Plus cars do more damage to the crew.
Yeah.
Amazing how all the cars and bikes have evolved, and that's a very, very true
I mean,
statement.
the suspensions that they've got now are just... Ford have done a lot of work with Fox. Only one's running Fox suspension as far as I know. They've still got the finest sounding. Peter, you'll let me know when you found that clip that we've got. So we spoke about 4 cars. So Ford, just on the suspension side, Ford are running the Fox, and yeah. But listen to the drive-by of 4 different cars. You listen to it, and then you tell us which one you think sounds the best. That's wow. That's it. Cliffy, which one do you think sounds the best?
They're all different, you know, to a point.
Of course they're
but
different.
I can appreciate each one
The
for what
screamer.
it brings. Yeah. So, but even for me, I'm not a Toyota fan, but that Toyota sounds pretty racy. So yeah.
Okay, just to convince you that you're wrong, we've got another clip. Maybe this one, I think it will help you make up your minds with the one car, Peter, if you would. Indulge me, please. Now do you know why the correct answer was the Raptor?
I'll give it to you. But also, what was impressive for me in that clip as well is how good that suspension is. Because at some points, they take it a bit of a different route, and that suspension just keeps it all in a straight line, or as straight as possible, which is the fastest way possible. It's incredible.
I truly believe that we speak about the leveling up of everything. The level of suspension development in all these cars now is just, it's probably more important than power, because power and torque stay pretty much the same unless you can fiddle with a torque meter. So now what is the next thing that can make a difference? Aerodynamics. Anything above 80, 90 k's an hour, aerodynamics helps. And then suspension. And that is where everybody is spending massive amounts of time on the dyno and testing. Always testing the suspension.
Yeah.
What else you got there?
Then Bentley, he's tuned in early and watched quite a bit, but got a few comments here. Alfie Cox, such a true gent. Whole family, such an honor to know them. Awesome race team. And then, said Bradley doesn't give up, and still a week to go. Then another comment here from JJ56 by 7.5 millimeter. Henk will be there at the end. Today was just bad luck. So then a lot
We've
of
got
guys,
5 stages left.
still quite a bit to go. I mean, like I said, and there's still a marathon to come. So there's a lot of racing to go. A lot of guys just enjoying the Alfie interview, just saying what a great legend and true gent that he is. And then Great program interviews. Thanks, Colin. Yeah, Colin, you've set up quite a bit here. We'd be lost without you. Cass Kruger, would love to see the video Colin mentioned regarding the 4 different car sounds. We've just seen it now. Yeah.
Okay, so Cass, which one do you... I mean, there's 2 there. Yes, the Toyota's like the Mini sounds like meh. The Dacia, listen, Renault.
He's come back at you. Toyota sounds the best by far.
Yeah, but then you didn't see the Ford clips. I just like a screamer.
Autodiff, it's going to be a dogfight in the cars from here on in.
Absolutely.
In the bikes as well, I think, to a point. Shamil 808, the WCT Amarok. Yeah, a few people here saying Toyota and agreeing with me, but like you said, maybe that's before the other 2 clips were played out. Andre de Troy, I think Henk will be upping his game and dropping the hammer from tomorrow. Then we've got 7 minutes between Henk and P1. That is very little at Dakar level. This is a nice one. So Cascrew, come back at you again. The Ford has a Cape Flat accent. But yeah, a lot of guys enjoying the Ford sounds. So yeah, just amazing how there's different strokes. But if we had to weigh it up here, consensus is it's between Ford and Toyota. And who sounds
there's no consensus. There is only one right answer. It's not a democracy. This is a benevolent dictatorship. The correct answer, the best sounding car on Dakar is the Ford Raptor.
Yes,
you don't like it?
Here's an interesting one from Peter Anker. It says, screamers always rule, but the hairdryer just gives engineers more options.
Yeah, except that in the top 3, you've got one hairdryer, the Renault, the Dacia, the Nissan. I'm told. And then 2 Fords, a Toyota, a Ford, another Dacia, and another Ford. And then a Century, an Audi. So it's a hell of a interesting in the top 4. Toby Price, 36 minutes off, and Saood Variawa, 15 minutes off. Top 10, yeah, still there. Ahead of Seth Quintero. And I rate Seth Quintero incredibly well. He's quick AF. Had a bit of poo, but it doesn't. This race is not about, you go back to Mathieu Sarradori, he's in 8th place. He hasn't finished higher than 5th, I think it was earlier on. He's just plugged away, and as I think it was Julien who said that, if you finish in that sort of 6th to 10th position, you're going to be higher than 6 overall because there's a whole lot of yo-yos. And at that sort of pace, there's less stress on the car. Brian Baragwanath, minute 19 off, and then Herr-Jürgen Schroeder, 59 minutes off. But, 59 hours, sorry. 59 hours and 1 minute. Don't forget the 1 minute. But they are in the experience now because they had 3 days of non-finishing. But at least they finished today, which is really good. And I'll really hold fingers and thumbs and touch wood and all the other stuffs that we need to do to make sure that they have a really good run.
Yeah.
It'll really be cool.
Yeah, you need a bit of luck and a few things to go your way in this kind of race, and we just hope that we've seen what the bad luck side has to offer, and the guys can just put together their race without any demons or anything unnecessary rearing its ugly head just to affect the results. Because it's been tough. I think the race so far has been tough on the South African guys, but hopefully that's gone now. We can just focus on going fast.
Yeah, I hear you. Fourth, just the way you phrased that luck part. You've got to have a little bit of luck. Yes,
absolutely,
100%
absolutely,
agree.
yeah.
You can't rely on luck.
No, you can't.
You can't say, "Well, I'm nearly there, but hey, if I get a lucky shot, I'm gonna survive."
Yeah.
Everybody, Gary Player. What was it? The more I practice, the luckier I get, and stuff like that. You'd certainly one does need the stars to align and the energies to work properly for you. But to rely on luck is in any endeavor is especially. Motorsport, you assess the task, get the equipment, and then execute. And we are seeing people executing absolutely outstandingly.
Yeah.
This is the top level of cross-country racing. This is, man, it is exciting. I truly love it, really. My man, Matthias Ekstrom, in second place. So now I'm just kind of, I said in the beginning, I think I can find the notes there, I said Ekstrom or Lategan, I think was my thing.
Yeah.
I was not thinking of NASA. I mean, you can't discount NASA in any blooming cross-country race. So it's, in my mind, it's a fight between the three of them, but Nanny Roma in third. Used to drive for Toyota, spent some time with him in South America. What a wise man, lovely guy. Loves proper Italian food. Yeah. What else you got for us?
Yeah, before we go to that, we spoke a little bit about luck, and I hope Peter's ready for me. But if you missed it earlier today, we were talking about Bradley Cox, and he had a bit of an incident on his stage today. We did manage to pick up a video on what happened out there. So, Peter, if you're ready, just to fill the guys in that are joining us a little bit late as to what happened to Brad out on the stage today.
So, Bradley, what's happened?
I'm not sure. The last 150 Ks have been having a fuel pump issue because the bike's starving of fuel. But then when it cools down, it starts, and I'm able to go like 100, 150 meters. But yeah, at the moment I don't know.
Are you just going to try and do what you can, or are you going to keep going and doing little bits by little bits? What's the plan?
I don't know. I haven't thought this far yet, but I thought I could maybe disconnect one of the fuel pumps, but it seems that both has got an issue. So yeah, I think my deck was over.
A few moments later.
Hey everyone, yeah, a bit of a bummer of a day. I started having issues quite early on and managed to manage them, and I was just saying, come on, let's just get to the end, and then fortunately like 25 Ks to go, the bike stopped. So it seems like it's a fuel issue. It's either the pumps or the injector. We're not sure. The team's trying to see, or maybe it's a wire to the fuel pump. But these things happen. We do thousands of kilometers on these bikes, and they take a beating. So big bummer, but I mean, I know everyone was rooting for me and hoping I'd get back on, and I'm sure there were a lot of prayers being said to get. So thank you for that support. I mean, when I was out there, I had no signal, nothing, so it was a bit hard to even communicate with the team. I had to borrow the satellite phone from the helicopter. But I'm very happy to be here. Dakar's not over, which is cool. I can still fight for good stages. I've lost an hour and a half today, which is dropping now to 13th, so still not bad. And I'm only an hour behind 10th, so I mean that is a tough ask. But just put my head down the next few days, and and then I'm actually going to give the guy that towed me, shame, he towed me all the way to the end, Malay Motor guy, Tiziano, I'm not sure his surname, but I know his Instagram's Mr. or Rally POV. He does all YouTube videos and that, and very, very, very kind of him and to tow me, and I'm very grateful for him. So I'm actually going to go take him some goodies, and just say thank you to him once again. And the dream continues this week, so carry on.
I think we should all go and check out that chap's socials and send him some love, because
absolutely. What was the? I missed the. But we'll get it.
We'll get it
stick
back.
it in the notes, and we'll let's make that Monday night's mission.
Yeah.
And the whole Dakar race day, Dakar family, we're going to bomb him. A rally POV on Instagram. Peter tells me in my ear. Let's go and come on.
Kill him with
get
kindness.
in there and just say thank you for helping Bradley. We dig it. Mention race day for us as well, just for the hell of it. Rally POV on Insta.
Then just to jump in before you get carried away again, Colin, Dion Fenter, Ford Racecar Sound is awesome. And then Bernardi J, does Toyota use the Alice engine?
No. Well, I don't know if it's in an LS, but it's the 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo that I think comes out of a Land Cruiser 300. There's a couple of different versions of them depending on where you go and what you do, but it's the 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo.
Francois Bosi Loubser. The Rikers are also out of this world.
Yeah.
I go with them all day. Cars, bikes, anything on wheels. If you want to go fast, spend money on suspension. Yeah. A lot of time left.
Riker, Fox, what's it, K53 or R53 or whatever it is that are in the Centuries. Yeah, Damper's big work. Riker at the moment are, I think when the guys have to order 6 to 7 months in advance in South Africa to get their Rikers to put them on the cross-country cars. They do great rally car shops as well.
Yeah, they do. Andre de Toy Alfie was great. Francois Bosi Loubser, daar is net 2 bakkies, 'n Toyota en 'n Hilux. Dion Fenter, Clifford, where's the DBA CT? That should be the 2026 slogan. I don't have a DBA t-shirt. I didn't make the cut in all the years we've done Dakar, but
they're
I think,
very limited editions, but
yeah,
you can order them. I'll put the link into the site and
also, I don't think anyone wears that shirt better than you do, Colin. So, yeah. Cass Kruger, the fast bird catches the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. Yeah, then come on, Colin, these 450s at full tilt also sound great. Yeah, they do. Just a different, different animal. Colin, absolutely correct. Era, next big thing back to the Touareg days. A certain piece of kit in certain place gave 5 kilometers per hour.
Yep.
Yeah, but suspension does have a bigger role, I feel, than era.
Nowadays, without an absolute doubt, the level of understanding of the bits and pieces, the ingredients to make a super fast Dakar vehicle have gone on, have moved on, and if you think back 2 or 3 years when the Ford first came out, they had all sorts of aero stuff, and other guys have aero stuff. So the aero at the moment is about, they're not so worried about downforce, but it's drag reduction and cooling. Biggest thing is cooling with very, very low drag. That's the sum of it for the aero side, and the rest of it is the motors are pretty much the same in terms of output. Strictly speaking, they're supposed to conform to the curve, but none of them actually do in real life. But the motors are just about the same. And what you're left with is the crew, get them fit, who can take the most punishment for the longest time, and get the suspension to take all of those powers, those horsepowers that they're making, or kilowatts or whatever, Newton meters, and transfer it into the ground. If you can't put it into the ground, it doesn't matter how much horsepower you've got. So they're all on the same tire.
Yeah.
So what's the variable you've got? The thing that's in your control is the suspension. And that's where the clever guys are going to make it.
How ready are you to move on till tomorrow's stage?
Do you want to move on to tomorrow?
So there's a question here from Andre de Toy saying, what does the road surface look like for the next stage?
Dirt, sand, dunes.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag.
Mainly dirt. There are some little bits of dunes. When they talk about sand, it's those pictures that we saw of the cars coming by. There is some stones available because stones and oil in Saudi Arabia, they're synonymous. That's on the plan for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's quite a long stage as well. Bit of a loop.
483 Ks of racing.
Yeah.
120 to the. So there you've got the times of everybody starting. So that's Saudi time. Take an hour off it, and then we'll go to the map just now as well. So you've got 120 Ks to go to the start of the stage, 483 kilos of dirt, sand, and dunes. And it's Wadi Al Dawasi to Wadi Al Dawasi. I hope I've pronounced that.
I feel you did great.
We're learning about it. So these are the high-level information, bits and pieces that come on the briefing. You got some more stuff there?
Well, just a comment here from Cass Kruger. At least Brad got to hear that beautiful Toyota flying by at full tilt. I think that was the last thing on his mind.
Yeah.
And then just a couple of guys saying a Dakar hero. They're obviously referring to Alfie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about all we have. I think Henk has also stepped off the comments. He's got another thing he has to take care of. So take us on your journey. Where are we going from there? We have to still discuss
I
catering.
think if your comments are if you can send us direct WhatsApps and we'll ignore them. Saw the mullet of the race, Toby Price. Absolutely fantastic. Got to love the way that he rocks the mullet. And a lot of the drivers and teams are getting more involved with sending some stuff out. We have direct permission to use a lot of our stuff. The rest of it comes directly from the teams. So to all of the individual teams, thank you very much for the footage. We in no way try to hijack it. It's there, and if we can help get some extra coverage for the teams, it'll be absolutely fantastic. One of the cars we didn't mention earlier.
Who?
I was a slack ass. Car 441. Larry Janeski and Dennis Murphy are in a Can-Am Maverick R. They're in 24th overall in the class. Those things are unbelievably quick.
No, that's a cool life.
Got a couple of them running in the South African Championship. Really, really cool. So Dennis, you'll recall, is Janelle de Villiers' navigator when he's here. And we are going to tattoo Janelle again. I have not seen him that relaxed and talkative for a long, long time. And it's really cool to see that Janelle's in a
Because you guys used to do a bit of racing together back in the day when you were a
I
spring
won't say
chicken.
together. Once we drove a Nissan Maxima. Oh, that was a lacquer car, that. It was absolutely magic.
Did you mention stock today? Did we go through stock? Was I sleeping?
Oh my word!
Because sometimes
How did we not get to the stock cars?
sometimes when you talk, I do switch off, but I just wanted to double check because
Sometimes when I talk, I switch off. I just hear this droning voice going on and oh, when's this guy going to get over it? Stock cars, Stefan Peter Hansel. Bakayuska was second. He's still in the lead. Peter Hansel is second, 44 minutes off. But the defenders rule. And then Sarah Price with Basso third in the overall. Basso is in the... So that's the stage thingy there, I think.
there's also a sick moustache there in Sarah Price's car, hey?
No, it doesn't get
it's ginger and it's thick.
Don't mock a ginger. You remember when we spoke about the midgets? Don't
Back
go
to the
with
results,
gingers.
please. Yeah, back to the results.
But there's a ginger, a ninja, and he's third. So, third today. So it's Discovery 1, 2, Toyota 3. Going to be very interesting to see how that whole class evolves as it goes forward. And the fact that the way that Discovery have... Racing's about selling cars. It's about marketing. It's about finding an angle to become part of the narrative. For them to... you either love a Discovery or you hate it, or you own an oil company. And for them to just get into the way of making it an experience for a lot of the media and all of that, it's absolutely magic. So I admire Discovery for doing that. For sure, Toyota are not going to take this lying down. For sure, Toyota will... imagine if Overdrive came and brought a stock Land Cruiser.
But we had that interview on Rest Day with Terence.
Yeah.
He spoke quite a bit about it. So if you missed that interview, Terence spoke quite a bit about the stock cars and the Land Rovers. And it was
Look at
interesting to
you
hear.
going throwback and promoting
I mean,
the
if I'm
whole
going to be here, I might as well be
content.
here, you know? So,
at
yeah,
you,
but I mean,
Cliff.
it was interesting and it's nice to hear that because for me, it's like we say, it's important to put money in and for manufacturers to get involved in motorsports. And it was nice to hear from someone that was there and had seen it. It was super cool to hear what Land Rover is doing in that stock class.
Yeah.
Okay, where have we still got to go? We still got to do catering. Anything else you got to throw at us?
I think I've ticked most of the boxes.
I'm surprised you sort of being so nonchalant about talking about catering because you were the chef, you know, and you did a pretty good job as
I
well.
was.
So yeah,
I had some fun. I really love cooking. I love experimenting with all the different Italian flavors, and I've got a nice herb garden that Mary says to me, "What are we going to have for supper tonight?" Oh, I don't know. Let's go and see what the garden's got to offer.
and then there's basil lying in your herb garden.
Ah, bastard guy.
But Joe,
and
I
he's
was.
lying in my basils in the herb garden
sure.
time after time.
You need to get some
you see
security
that?
cameras up. Yeah, I see what you did there. Get some security cameras up. Something dodgy is happening. In
Yeah,
the-
so we had a bit of. I thought it was really great. Spaghetti bolognese.
It was made
With
with
basil.
love, and I really enjoyed the greenery in my spaghetti. But I can honestly say, for those of you who did not get to experience the flavors and the taste and the aromas, Colin, you did good. I'm very impressed. That's the best we've had so far. I'm going to give that a 9.5. I could have given you 10, but I'm just not going to. I'm going to give you
Oh,
9.5.
fine, be like that.
I will
bitch.
be like that.
I mean, really.
What do you score yourself, Colin?
No, I'm a little bit disappointed with it.
Huh?
It was a little bit dry, and there was something missing, and I'm not sure what it is.
Okay.
But I'll work on it. Maybe it's just my mouse, and
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But it was lekker.
It was
Very,
lekker.
very
Yeah, very lekker. Nice way to end the week and start off the next week in
Yeah,
Jan.
don't worry, we've got more coming tomorrow.
We do. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm not telling anybody what it is, but I love cooking, and it's not a braai vlees. We might even make this whole Dakar without a braai.
That would be sad, actually.
Totally sad.
Yeah, because last year we bride to death. So yeah, we should
What
at least have one.
Botterill rolls?
I'm in. So yeah, that's it. That's what's on the card for us.
Right.
If we play on the play outs, I'm just going to preempt old Peter quickly. But we've got a nice little clip of Ross enjoying the dunes today. So when we play out, Peter, if you can cue that for us on the play out, I'd appreciate it. Because we haven't spoken too much about Ross. And he had a good day and he got through rest day. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
That's actually, we were going to try to get hold of Ross today, but the stars
Yeah,
didn't allow.
because-
Okay, so cars tomorrow.
Yes.
They start in the morning. Ekstrom opens from Ferreira, Gusry Price, Marias, Loeb, Quintero, Serradori, Saints Rome, Al Attiyah. Al Attiyah and Lategan. They're going to be there together, 13th, 14th, around about there. Oh, and Guy Botterill's here as well. Man, it's going to be fun. Pity we have to go to work on Monday.
Pity.
I think we should declare a national holiday for Monday so we can watch Dakar and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And on that note, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your comments, your involvement, the passions that you have. We have these passions as well. We love it. We love our Dakar family, and to our technical guru, remote and on site, all our gurus. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a great evening. And to you for watching, thanks. And remember, be lekker, have a great time, and be kind to somebody just because you want to, and you can. Have a great one. We out of here. Cheers.
Good luck for the work week. Finger guns.